I started using Confluence several jobs ago without any formal introduction to it. I was just told, go to the knowledge base to get what you need. So I log in, search around, and try and find stuff. Over time, I figured out how to use it, but it was mostly through what I call bashing my head against the keyboard and just figuring it out. Eventually, I figured out how to create content. My favorite is a page about how to fix the office coffee machine, which I think is still being used several years after I left. But that was about it. I was curious to know more about this tool that I was expected to use, but no one could tell me about it. So, first, who makes it? Confluence is made by a company called Atlassian. They're based out of Australia, and you might have heard about them because they focus on remote work and empowering teams. And they have a lot of great tools to help enable teamwork and to help teams be successful at work. Examples include Confluence, a knowledge base, but also Jira, a ticketing system, or Trello, a personal productivity app. They make a lot of great tools that you probably have already had access to, and you either didn't know about it or you didn't know how to use them. But let's talk about Confluence specifically. Well, at its core, Confluence is a shared workspace. It's one place at a company everyone can go to share information, to share knowledge, to provide updates, to get information, and more. It is a virtual space for all of your collaboration, and they keep adding to it. Not only can you post a page or have a regular blog update about a project, but you can also pop open a whiteboard and work together on diagrams and drawings. And all of this will be shared and stored in one spot that everyone can go. Imagine joining a company and logging into Confluence and having all the information you need at your fingertips about how to use systems or about how to onboard or how to find your benefits. That is the challenge that Confluence strives to solve. Where can someone go to get all the information they need and to collaborate with others on creating it? Now, Confluence has a structure to help support all of this. The biggest one is called an instance, which will either be something that the company hosts in a collection of servers or something more commonly found on the cloud. We'll mainly talk about that second one, but they behave very, very similarly. An instance is basically your company's copy of Confluence. It is separate and unique from every other copy of Confluence. Even if your company has multiple instances, they are still separate. This allows different groups to use Confluence and collaborate in different ways, and they don't have to worry about stepping on each other's toes. The next smallest thing in Confluence is called a space. This is just an area of Confluence that can be set aside for a specific group to work through. Or maybe every project you work on gets a space. Or maybe every individual gets a personal space to keep their own notes. I use my personal space for a lot of things because I know everything will be in there and it's really, really easy to share with folks. It's also a great place to draft and create initial content to then share out to others. Within a space, you'll have your content. This could be a page detailing a policy. This could be a blog post providing an update to the team on what you've been doing. It could be a whiteboard drawing some diagrams or even links to other things. A page is that core piece of information in Confluence that most people will interact with and what most people are familiar with. Now, every space and page will have additional access controls. So for example, if you're not on the engineering team, you might not see the engineering space. Or maybe if you're part of human resources, but you're not in recruiting, you won't see the recruiting pages in the HR space. This flexibility allows teams to provide content for specific groups of users while ensuring folks who don't need to or shouldn't have access to certain information won't get it. Now, those pages aren't just all dumped into a space in a big pile. They are organized. Every page will have some parent, even if it's way up at the top, which means under every page you can have children and design a structure to help folks more easily navigate through the space. For example, you may have a how-to page in a space, and under that, different pages for different types of how-to. How to use your HR system, how to use the finance system, how to get into the building, etc. This makes it easier for someone to go in and visually browse and find something, but also if someone wants to add content, they can more quickly figure out where to go to add more information to Confluence. It allows for easier navigation. Pages can also be linked to other pages, making it very easy to quickly grab and host content in different parts of Confluence. making it much more flexible than only having a single place to put something. This allows teams to easily create their own landing pages or their own indexes to help folks find information that is important and useful to them. Now, each page also has a number of features that make them very useful. Things like basic formatting are supported. You can have headers, you can insert documents, you can show images. You can provide formatting with different sections of the page to visually break up your information and to make it easier for other folks to find it. And you can even work on pages together with other people, editing and collaborating in real time to create content. For me, this is a great feature because it means I can get some other experts on the page with me, helping me answer questions and quickly creating very useful pages without having to go back and forth with those folks on email or in Slack or in the hallway. Pages also support something called macros, which are essentially little programs that will run in Confluence and do helpful things. For example, there is a table of contents macro that, based on the headers on the page, will automatically create a table of contents for you. This will save you a ton of time because you no longer have to manually create one, and it also makes it much easier to browse, and it just does it. Other macros will do things like share information between pages, allowing you to easily mirror content between one page and another, reducing the amount of administrative overhead required to manage everything. Other macros will talk to other Atlassian products. For example, if you use Jira for ticketing, you can pull in Jira tickets on a Confluence page to display status so folks can easily get a feeling for how something is doing without having to go open another system or fight with another login. Now, while Confluence is mainly meant for internal use, you can also open it up to allow anonymous or guest access. This allows you to create something like a product guide for your customers or end users, and they don't have to log into your Confluence. They only get access to specific pages that you want them to see, so they can go and learn about your product. This is a great way to share information while still giving your team control of that stuff. They can go in and edit it or remove it or change it, and your customers can quickly and easily access information about your service or product. Now, because Confluence is created by Atlassian, it works very well with other Atlassian products. As I mentioned, it can connect to Jira to pull a list of tickets, but it can also feed knowledge base articles to Jira Service Management to help people self-serve with challenges they have. And there's even a number of app developers who create extensions for Confluence to make it even more useful. There's a very robust marketplace with these additional add-ons that can help you tweak Confluence to meet your needs. So, at its core, Confluence is a collaborative workspace, but really it's a lot more than that. It's a place for your teams to interact and share knowledge. It's a place for your customers to go to get help or ask questions. And it's one spot for your teams to go to make their lives a bit easier. So if you haven't checked it out already, please go look more into Confluence. Drop your questions down below in the comments, and like and subscribe if you like this. I'm looking forward to seeing you in another one of these soon.